Hello and welcome to another episode of Train Sim World 2, where I'm doing my best to drive virtual locomotives without causing major disaster. Or do I? Anyway, before we begin today's episode, I would like to remind you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that already, and use that bell to make sure you won't miss out on any content from me. I would also like to encourage you to join my Discord server, where you can interact with me and other Train Sim World fans, talk about the game in general, share some of your cool liveries, or just chill. You can find link in description down below the video. So, welcome back in yet another episode where I'm gonna drive some trains in Train Sim World 2. So, in past few days, I've been taking some time off. You probably noticed that there was no stream this weekend, if you are watching the episode shortly after it was released. Yeah, you probably noticed that I wasn't streaming anything. I took some time off. I also used some of that time to do some additional, let's say, research or take some practice with driving trains, mostly, or at least virtual trains. I do not drive real trains, unfortunately. Anyway, I did some practice. I've been chatting a lot with one of my viewers who offered help with some of the German traffic rules. And, well, let's say I feel much more confident driving German trains in Train Sim World 2. I'm still not perfect. I'm still making mistakes, and I'm still getting caught by PZB at times. But definitely that practice did me very good. Anyway, today we shall continue our journey along Schnellfahrstrecke Köln route that is available in base Train Sim World 2 without any DLCs. So you don't have to pay anything extra if you received the game for free from Epic Games Store, or if you bought the game for its base price, which isn't that bad, providing that the game was sold for like £25, if I remember correctly. So yeah, that probably translates to around $30 or any other equivalent of your local currencies. Anyway, let's jump into the game. Let's see what is our today's scenario. Right, so in previous episode we have finished chapter 1 with snow and ICE scenario. We managed to finish that with a gold medal. I wouldn't call that like superior achievement, providing that the game is not exactly where it could have been when it comes to rules and how strict the game should be when it comes to driving practices. But, well, it's still somewhat of an achievement, especially for someone who is not driving trains professionally. Anyway, today we will jump into chapter 2. At least for a first mission, because starting from the next episode, if possible, and if there are such requests, I would like to start doing specific missions that you guys want me to eventually do. It would be nice to actually hear your voice. It would be nice to hear which particular scenarios you would like to see me doing, and I will, well, try and make an episode about them and try to beat them, hopefully with a gold medal, and, well, give you some tips on how you can achieve that on your own. Anyway, today let's jump into RE9 Aachen route. We will be driving Talent 2, is it? Yeah, it's probably Talent 2 or whatever it is called. I'm not specialist when it comes to those trains and models just yet. I wasn't driving that too much, but yeah, we will be definitely driving Talent. But I wouldn't say I am talented driver. Right, enough of me talking, let's jump in. Alright, so here we are in our Talent 2. It's 6:47. We are currently at Köln. We will be traveling to Aachen in BR 442 Talent 2. The total mass of the train is going to be 315 tons. We got 8 cars in the consist, and the total length of our consist is 142.8 meters. That is actually very useful information. It will help us decide when should we apply more throttle. Right, so let's begin. Okay, and right away we can unlock the doors using U button. Let's stand up and turn on CIFA and PZB. Perfect. The rest should be on. We don't really have much to configure in this particular unit. Brakes are off. Everything seems to be in order. So let's set our camera. Perfect. We have to wait for the passengers to load. Almost there. Perfect. Now we can close the doors. Okay, and we have to wait until 6:49 so that we can depart. Just a few more seconds. Let's set our direction of travel. And we can now depart. Let's double check if we got all the settings right. Oh, lights were not turned on. Okay. But we are moving now. We will start off slowly. We might turn on AFB. Obviously PZB went into 40km speed limit or 45km speed limit as it's initializing. We are heading off at subsidiary signal. So let's hold PZB acknowledge button. Let's reset CIFA. Perfect. We might want to restart AFB. Perfect. And for now we can just carry on. Okay, the next speed limit will go up to 70. Let's reset CIFA and let's travel for 150 meters to make sure that entire train got into new speed limit zone. Okay, at this lights that should be enough. So let's speed up. Okay, another speed limit change. We can now travel at 80. Let's travel for 150 meters again. Okay, that should be enough. Let's increase our speed to 80 kilometers per hour. Perfect. So far, so good. Okay, we are now approaching LZB sign, which doesn't really apply to our unit, as we are not equipped with this equipment. Or rather, I think there is a switch for this equipment in the locomotive, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Dovetail definitely didn't put that on. I'm not sure if Real Talent 2 is actually equipped with LZB. I don't think it is. Mostly because those trains doesn't really travel at speeds exceeding 160 kilometers per hour. Okay, that's SIFA again. New speed limit change, 140. Let's travel for a few more meters. Although, yeah, there is no need to actually speed up at the moment. Because we are now approaching our next destination. And we are still on time, so there's really no need to do anything about it. Let's approach this station at 80. Let's reset SIFA. Okay, at 400 meters we will apply the brakes. Hopefully that is enough. For now I'm using only electric dynamic brake. Might be braking a little bit too harsh for that. SIFA again. Okay, that is a fairly good stopping accuracy. Doors are unlocked. Let's reset our throttle. Perfect. Right on time and perfect. Let's wait for the passengers to load. Okay, it is taking a little bit longer than I expected. Let's shut the doors. Okay, doors are shut. Now I will use AFB to set our desired speed. The previous speed limit was 140. It's gonna take a while to set it. Okay, we are at 140. The train is now speeding up. Let's reset SIFA. And we got 14 kilometers to go. So far we are doing really well. That is SIFA again. now joining main line. And the speed limit goes up to 160. Let's reset SIFA. Let's allow entire train to get into new speed limit zone. And now we can speed up to 160. Perfect. So we are scheduled to arrive at Horen in about 5 minutes. We should be there on time. That is if I won't fail. Yes, there is plenty of room to fail. Obviously, shortly before the station, I do expect that we might have to slow down to about 80 kilometers per hour, and we might be met by a signal that requires us to do so. And that's the crucial point. That's the point where many of you might fail, especially when you use PZP. You have to acknowledge the signal, and you have to slow down fast enough to actually get to the desired speed. And the brakes in that train are not so good, at least not electrodynamic brake that is most commonly used. You have to brake really harsh, and it's advised, or I would advise, to start braking as soon as you can see the signal. Don't wait until you have to acknowledge it. Start braking before that in order to bring your braking curve into a proper zone. Okay, that is SIFA again. We still got 6 kilometers to go. So far we are doing really well. No speed limit changes, at least so far. Signals are green, at least so far. Okay, we got SIFA. Still 4.6 kilometers to go. Signal is green. .8 kilometers to go. SIFA is attacking me again. Okay, so far so good. Another green signal. 3 kilometers to go. Blinking signal with a speed limit. SIFA, we are slowing really nicely. I might have, yeah, probably I accidentally turned on emergency brakes. That is not correct. And that is something that I don't like about this particular unit. Okay, I managed to actually release the brakes on time, but it might cause some delay. Okay, let's set our speed to 80. We have another speed limit to confirm. Sifa. There's yet another speed limit to confirm. 900 meters and 1 minute to go. We should be able to bring that train into a platform at the right time. More or less, at least. Okay. I definitely need to improve my braking habits. It's very easy to bring the brakes a little bit too far, or not brake fast enough and stop your train a little bit too late. This time I introduced brakes a little bit too soon, but I made it right on time. Okay, let's reset the throttle. Speed limit remains at 80. We did, well, I wouldn't say perfect. I introduced emergency brakes by accident when I was setting electrodynamic brake, and that's, yeah, brought us a little bit too slow. I really need to work on that. But other than that, yeah, we are doing pretty well so far. Okay, we are still loading passengers. It's gonna take another 10 seconds at least. I think we are good to lock the doors. Doors are locked. I might have been a little bit too harsh with that and set off a little bit too soon. I'm not sure what are exact rules on German railways when it comes to setting off the platform. Do you have to wait a few seconds or not? But I think we did alright, to say the least. We are back in 160 zone. Let's allow the train to get to speed. Okay, that is actual 160 signs, so let's wait a little bit more to allow entire train to fit into that speed limit zone. Yeah, we should be far enough according to distance sign. So back to 160, and we got 20 kilometers to go. We should be there in 9 minutes. So once more, the procedure is exactly the same. Whenever you spot a speed limit signal, start braking before you reach the signal. Confirm the signal as you are passing it. Well, confirm the signal as you are passing next to it. Obviously, that applies if the speed limit falls below 100 kilometers per hour or below 80. Yeah. Definitely below 80. For safety, I always confirm signals below 100 kilometers per hour, mostly because dovetail usually messes something up, and they might have set PZB in the game slightly different than it should work. So for my own safety and to avoid embarrassing events of emergency braking, I do confirm those signals. Okay, everything is good so far. Still got 15 kilometers to go. We are doing solid 160. Obviously, Sifa is constantly beeping every 30 seconds. There's not much I can do about it, apart from paying more attention to SIFA indicator, which is white on a white background. I might eventually switch it. So if you want to switch it, you can press this button. Now SIFA should be a little bit more visible. There we go. That helps a lot. Perhaps we will hear less beeping from our lovely helper. There we go. I still missed it. So that's the thing with SIFA. You can't constantly focus your eyes on that indicator. You have to focus on what's in front of your windshield. So whenever I focus my eyes on what's going on around the train, I keep forgetting to take a look at SIFA, and eventually it's only the sound signal that tells me, hey, you have to reset me. So those habits is something that I need to work on. If you get into habit of like having a quick look at your speed and other panels every now and then, you will probably spot SIFA much more often than I do. While talking while driving is also not helping in my example. Oh well, nobody's perfect and I'm still learning. Cut me a bit of a slack. Anyway, that's how you practice with PZP. Obviously Talent 2 is very demanding train to drive. I'm not gonna lie, I think it's the hardest train to drive in Train Sim World 2 if you want to drive it with all the safety systems. Mostly because it's like controls of this train are so clunky that it's unbelievable. I'm also not fan of that electrodynamic brake. It doesn't seem to give me a good enough braking curve, and obviously that last bit of the brake where it's so easy to go into emergency braking, which is not a proper way of slowing down your train. If you get into that zone, obviously you will brake too hard, you will reduce your speed too much, and unfortunately the game doesn't have like that safety feature where it will stop the lever and require you to eventually press the button again to go beyond that point. It won't stop the lever, it will just carry on, giving you like a sound of clicking, but as soon as it clicks it's already too late anyway, because you've introduced emergency braking. So that is a problem. Obviously you have to watch the indicator and see where the arrow is pointing. If you are braking with maximum force, then probably you don't want to go too far. If you do, well, you will do exactly the same as I did while approaching Horen, which wasn't exactly correct way. I think the speed limit dropped down a tiny bit, at least on the tracks to the left. I do hope that it wasn't on my track. Was it? No, I think it applied only to the tracks to the left. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I hope I'm not speeding. I will find out at the end of the video, I guess. Because the game doesn't give me any indication right now. if I am actually speeding or not. We are approaching Duran pretty fast. I might want to introduce some braking at least. It is a pass-through station. So yeah, we are getting very close. Okay, 90 kilometers per hour. We are ahead of time, which might indicate that I should have slowed down to 140. Did I? Okay, that's Sifa again. Let's bring this train to a calm stop at the right point. Still got 100 meters to go. Okay, stopping accuracy isn't that bad. We are 1 minute early. There we go. That's something I was looking for. Let's turn off notifications from Chrome. You probably won't see it, but I've seen it, and it didn't want it to disappear after it popped up. I'm not sure if you heard the sound. Probably you did, because it goes along the game. Sadly, yeah, Chrome always likes to give me notifications at the wrong time. They shouldn't pop up when I'm in full screen application, but well, I guess Chrome doesn't care. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Right, we are 1 minute early, which is good. So we can slowly perform everything. Let's shut the doors. And we are supposed to wait until 14 past 7. I'm not sure what German rules say about departing 30 seconds early, but since the light is green, let's not halt the traffic, shall we? Let's depart that few seconds early. It will give us an edge. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure if the speed limit is still 160. I do hope that it is. We got 9 kilometers to go. And yeah, the speed limit is 160. Let's reset SIFA. Let's allow entire train to enter that speed limit zone. There we go. We got 8.8 kilometers to go. 6 minutes. That's how long it should take us. That should be not a problem at all. Okay, let's reset SIFA since I spotted that. Perfect. So far, we are doing really good. No issues whatsoever. And I do hope that it will remain like that until the end of our trip. We still got about halfway to go. Because the entire route is about 80 kilometers long. So there's plenty of occasions, or there will be plenty of occasions, where I will probably make some mistakes. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, nobody is perfect, and I'm very far away from that. Okay, that is Sifa. No speed limit reductions so far. We are getting closer though. 3.5 kilometers, and we are way ahead of time. That is Sifa again. .6 kilometers. Can't see the next signal yet. Okay. Yeah, that's as far as we can go with the brakes. Okay, perfect. We are at 70. Train is slowing down naturally. We got plenty of time to reach our destination. So there is no reason for me to speed up even further. I got 2 minutes to approach the station. That's another speed limit information that I need to confirm. Perfect. I am doing 60. Just perfect. 500 meters to go. Speed is great. I should be able to stop on time. Well, I will be slightly early. Train is slowing down. Let's introduce some brakes. Let's make that stop. The correct spot. Okay, here we are. 2 minutes early. That is a great achievement. Okay. Perfect. Let's allow passengers to board. I'm actually surprised that I managed to bring this train 2 minutes early, so I believe that I might have missed a speed limit board. Or I'm just becoming that good. Whichever applies. I doubt I became that good. Okay, perfect. We are required to wait until 7:21. I won't be waiting that long. I shall give myself a little bit headroom. So perhaps that is the right time to depart. Let's give it 15 more seconds. Okay, that looks good. Let's set our speed to 80. I really hate to set AFB in this particular unit. Okay, we shall continue at 80 for now. Technically, we are on the track with a 160 speed limit, but I really like to go to an actual speed board, which I think, yeah, that's, no, that is for the junction. Is there gonna be a speed board? Probably not. Or I probably already passed one, if there is. So let's speed up to a proper speed of 160, which still applies on the main tracks. We don't want to be late. Did I actually miss the speed board? That is a question. Let's reset SIFA. Yeah, it feels like I'm super early. Or maybe. You always have to remember that the game measures the distance in a straight line from your train. So, since the line is turning in various directions, that distance from the station might not go down as quickly as you want it to. We still got 4 minutes, roughly. And 3.6 kilometers to go, so yeah, it looks correct. One kilometer per minute. That's how fast we are supposed to close to our destination. Okay, we have to slow down to 60. Is that a full braking force? Yeah, as far as I'm concerned. So let's keep slowing down. We are below 80. SIFA kicks in. Okay. Let's set our speed down to 60 or slightly below. Nah, let's keep it at 60. Perfect, that's when speed limit applies. And we also got a repeater signal. Okay, signal confirmed. Speed board 120 on the main line, let's remember that. Eschweiler or Eschweiler. I really need to practice on my German pronunciations, I guess. Oh well, there's plenty of things that I need to practice on. I never can find the time to do that. My goodness me. Okay, let's introduce some brakes, at least as much as I need to. We are safely early enough at this station. Let's make that stop. Perfect. As always, let's reset that. And we have to remember that there is also 60 km/h speed limit. That still applies. However, on the main line, the speed limit seems to be 120. Just in case there is no other speed board, we will have to adhere to that when we set off and go past the junction in front of us. Although I think there are some missing signs in here, because there should be a sign that informs you that a different speed limit applies. Okay, we can shut the doors. But again, it's Dovetail. There are plenty of missing signs on this route, and that's a bit of a shame. I think at some point there is a missing speed board sign that is supposed to inform you what is actual speed limit on that part of the route. Okay, we shouldn't have to confirm the signal that I'm just passing next to, so that is a good test if PZB is working correctly. Okay, Stolberg is our next destination in just mere 3 minutes. Wow. Okay, when we pass this tunnel, I shall increase our speed to 120, which is current track speed limit. Perfect. Speaking of the tunnel, I forgot to use a horn in front of it. Okay, speed limit reduction to 110. So I might as well introduce that. We don't have to confirm it because it's over 100. However, knowing Stolberg, I do expect to see actual speed limit. Is it? No. Ooh, we might be sent on a main track. Okay, that is 110. Yes, we're gonna stay on the main track. 1.3 kilometers. Okay, 920 meters. It is probably wise to start slowing down. Okay, see if I can actually shut up. Let's introduce a little bit more brakes. Okay, we are at safe speed to approach the station, 50 kilometers per hour. We might want to introduce a little bit more brakes. Yeah, I went a little bit past. It's not a problem, I'm still fit into platform. My accuracy though is not the greatest. Let's load the passengers. We are still slightly ahead of time, which is good. and it's gonna help. But again, I am fully aware that shortly after the station, the speed limit goes up to 140 kilometers per hour. The problem is that I can never spot a speed board that should inform me about that. So it's pretty much the first time I'm traveling on this particular track, and perhaps that is when I will spot that particular speed board. Okay, time to close the doors. Wait for the doors to close. Okay. And we can go. We are pretty much at the right time. Aachen RE9. Okay. We are getting close. We are getting close. Let's set our speed to 110, which is the last speed limit I remember. And again, let's be on a lookout for that speed board that should appear, and obviously it never does. Okay, that is Sifa. I don't want Sifa to attack me. Is there a speed board? I can't see it. There is no speed board. Absolutely nothing. Nope, that is not a speed board. But I know at this point I am already in 140 km per hour zone. So, yeah, like Dovetail definitely forgot to put a speed board in here. Should I speed up, or should I follow what the speed boards are actually saying me? That is a good question. Well, I believe that according to any rules, even if you remember that a speed limit is higher, if the speed board is missing, you are supposed to adhere to the previous speed board or to what signals are saying. But on the other hand, what also happens on German railways, you get such thing called timetable, which should be displayed on the right display, this one. And your timetable should describe what is the speed limit on a specified kilometer of the track, at least for your train. So you can adhere to that. The problem is, well, you can't do that in Train Sim World, because this bit is completely empty, and you should have your Fahrplan, so-called, or timetable. So to explain everyone why I'm not adhering to 140 km per hour speed limit is because I don't have such information, and I'm trying to drive this train according to what I would get. So the last information I got is that the speed limit was reduced to 110 km per hour. I don't see that from the signals. I don't see any speed board signs, because one of them is missing, and I don't get a timetable. Or rather, the timetable you are getting in the game is absolutely terrific, and like, it's in a completely different place than it should be. It doesn't really matter, because I believe developers predicted that you're gonna follow the speed limit of 110, and they gave you plenty of time to reach Aachen RE9. We got 2 kilometers to go. Okay, we might want to introduce brakes before that station. No, we don't have to. We don't have to, because the speed limit actually dropped to 120. So that is the first bit of information that you are getting, that the speed limit was in fact higher than 110. This signal that's the first moment you are officially finding out that you could actually drive this train much faster than you do. Obviously, it doesn't really make any difference at that point because we are 800 meters away from our destination. And we are supposed to slow this train down and bring it to a stop in about 500 meters. Also, pay attention to signals on this particular station, because right behind the station, if I remember correctly, yes, you can already see that there is a speed limit reduction to 70, or actual information that the speed limit reduction will apply. Okay, I managed to fit within the platform. A little bit overshot the point that I was supposed to stop at. I'm still ahead of time, so even though I was moving slower than everyone would expect, I'm still within timetable, so it's not a big deal. But it would be nice if Dovetail would apply a solid fix of that situation and just put a speed board where it's supposed to be. And then they can adjust the timetable to actually reflect a speed at which this train would move. Because there is no need to set track limit to 140 and never put a speed board sign about it. It's actually a little bit ridiculous. Anyway, let's close the doors. Perfect. And we still got plenty of time. Our next stop will be Aachen. So let's get ready. Okay, we still got a few seconds to go. I will actually wait until 38:45. That should be appropriate time. Now let's introduce AFB and let's set our speed to 70. Also, as I'm passing the signal, don't forget, confirm it if you are using PZB. There we go. And our next stop is Aachen. Okay, we can confirm SIFA. Perfect. Everything that we will be met from now on is gonna be speed reductions. So that is 70. Let's confirm that. And then the next speed limit goes down to 40. Okay, there is SIFA. Perfect. We can continue at 40. Let's remember to confirm the signal in front of us, as it's informing us that the speed limit will appear. If you don't confirm it, you will most likely get stopped quite abruptly by PZB. Another yellow signal with actual speed limit. However, I'm not sure if I think I need to confirm it, because the next signal is expected to be red at this point. I'd rather confirm it. Okay, and we got 250 meters to go. We are at 500 Hertz magnet, which means we are getting really close to that red signal, which is in front of us. 50 meters. 30 meters. Let's not overshot this one. I'd rather stop a little bit too soon than too late. There we go. We are slightly ahead of time. Perfect. Perfect. That's pretty much the end of this journey. There's just a very few things that you have to do. Most likely we will have to limit ourselves to closing the doors. We can actually reset our throttle and brake lever. I'm not sure if that train actually works properly, because as you probably noticed, I haven't been using throttle lever to apply the throttle. I've been using it only to brake, and AFB was taking care of throttling. The thing is, I'm not sure if I shouldn't have to actually move the throttle lever in order to begin moving. Right, we have to lock the doors, so let's do that. There we go, and that's the end of our journey. Right. Perfectly fit within a speed limit. Time taken 55 minutes and 34 seconds. That is surprisingly long. Yes, I have to agree with that. Let's see. I've been speeding up a little bit too soon here, from what I can see, which is a bit surprising. Or at least that's how it looks like on the graph. Later on, yeah, we've been perfectly within a speed limit. 120, that was still 160. Wow, and I carried on at 120 for some reason. Perhaps, yeah, that was the speed board that put me a little bit off guard. Is it? Oh, no. Those are 250 speed limits for LZB. We obviously can't travel that fast. Then the speed goes down to 160. Yes, obviously, we've been traveling at that speed. Then it went down to 120. Yes. And then 210 for the stop at Stolberg. Was it? Yes, that was Stolberg. And after Stolberg, as you can see, the speed limit goes up to 140. And I've been traveling at 110. That was this brief braking when I've spotted a signal with a speed limit. I began braking to bring my curve to the right spot, and then I realized, oh no, the speed limit goes down from 140 to 120 instead of going below 100 kilometers per hour. So in that case, better to be safe than sorry. The game actually predicted that I'm gonna travel at 110, so the developer seems to be aware that they are missing a speed board here. But yeah, driving from the memory is not a good idea. And since they never provided actual working timetable for German railways, which should provide that information that on this bit of a track, this train could travel at 140, or timetable speed limit is 140, we actually carried on at 110. Because the main idea of people becoming train drivers eventually is to deliver passengers or drive trains in a safe manner. So it's better to be safe than sorry, I guess. Anyway, guys, that was it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and well, I would like to encourage you to subscribe and press that bell button to never miss any content from me. Finally, I would like to encourage you to join my Discord server, where you can find me and other Train Sim World 2 fans, and not only. There's plenty of rail fans in there that can actually point you in the right direction, help you with various different other games, not only Train Sim World 2. There are people playing Train Driver 2. Some of the people are definitely playing a game called Zusi, which is really, really great rail sim, unfortunately with a little bit outdated graphics. But if you want to practice driving German trains, especially using PZB system, Zusi is much better choice than Train Sim World 2. But well, we are still in Train Sim World 2 episodes, so let's not talk about it. And yeah, you can meet very, very large variety of people from various different communities. So I strongly encourage you to give it a shot and try. And finally, well, I wish you have a good day, and I hope to catch you next time. Bye bye.